American XL bully dog is a danger to our communities, particularly our children.
Breaking news that's just come into us here at Sky News. It concerns that large dog, the XL bully. It's now to be banned.
I think that banning the breed is the easiest option.
Did you know that despite their reputation as man's best friend, dog attacks have been on a chilling rise, with some breeds even banned due to the extreme danger they pose? In the small, unassuming town of Malton, North Yorkshire, where neighbours know each other by name and trust is as natural as the autumn leaves that line the narrow streets, a horrific incident has shattered this tranquil setting. It was a clear November afternoon, just as any other day would have been. At home with her family, the place the young child felt most secure, though the specifics of the attack are still almost too terrible to remember. At about 4:15 p.m, a call to the Yorkshire ambulance service reported a dog attack. Though paramedics answered fast, the horror they discovered inside that house was beyond what anyone could have prepared. The girl had suffered terrible injuries from her family's dog, a dog she trusted, loved, and most likely considered her best friend. Her life slid away in that very house, in the arms of those who loved her, surrounded by the echoes of an unimaginable deed, despite the immediate care given by the medical team. For the family, the loss is incomprehensible, and the suffering incomprehensible as well. Still, they are not the first to be touched by tragedy in this sense, and unnaturally, they might not be the last. The UK has seen an increase in fatal dog attacks in recent years, which begs a sinister question. Are these incidents isolated, or is something far darker happening behind the loving eyes of our dogs? Authorities grabbed the family dog right away and housed it in a safe kennel. Still, the mystery remained. How could a creature so profoundly ingrained in a family's life suddenly cause unbounded suffering? Unbelievably, the death of this small child fits a rising trend. Actually, statistics show that fatal dog attacks in the United Kingdom have surged at an alarming rate, from a few dozen annually to a startling increase in recent years. Perhaps one of the most chilling aspects of this increase in attacks is the specific involvement of certain breeds. Over recent years, a single breed, the American Bully XL, has been implicated in nearly half of all fatal attacks. The name itself, Bully, sends a shiver down the spine, conjuring images of an imposing, muscular animal capable of inflicting fatal harm. In response, the British government recently added this breed to the Dangerous Dogs Act, joining ranks with other notorious breeds like the Pit Bull Terrier, Japanese Tosa, Dogo Argentino, and Fila Brasileiro. This was the first breed to be added to the banned list in over 30 years, a decision made in desperation after repeated incidents that left families shattered and communities in mourning. And yet, a simple ban on a breed brings little comfort to those who have lost loved ones. Bans may remove specific dogs from homes, but they don't answer the bigger question. What causes a dog to snap? Is it something dormant within certain breeds, lying in wait like a ticking time bomb, ready to explode without warning? For some, the tragedy feels unavoidable, a consequence of keeping a powerful animal in a human world. Think about this. Every one of these stories has horrific elements and details of what should have been a calm day turned blood-soaked nightmare. A Staffordshire Bull Terrier mix attacked 35-year-old Jonathan Halstead in his own Oldham, Greater Manchester, home in January 2020. Halstead was on the floor, vulnerable after an epileptic seizure. Maybe set off by unexpected movement or an instinctive reaction, his cherished pet lunged at him, turning his already weak state into his last hours. This picture is difficult to ignore. An attack without warning, a betrayal of the unspoken link between human and pet. Furthermore, victims of these atrocities are not just adults. A Chow Chow German Shepherd mix family pet called Teddy attacked 12-day-old Elon Jace Ellis Joins in September 2020. Still, in the first days of life, the infant was mauled with more than 30 puncture wounds in an unexpected attack that left a young couple devastated. Later on, Elon's father, the owner of the dog, was sentenced to 4 years in prison for keeping a dog with a past of aggression and found guilty of neglecting his child. These tales, these terrible events of a life cut short, layer upon layer, the question, are we bringing creatures into our homes whose actual natures we may never completely understand? The story of the young girl from Malton and the stories of other families torn apart by similar tragedies paint a grim picture. These tales are not just about loss. They reveal an unsettling truth about our relationships with animals. We bring these creatures into our homes, believing we understand them, but in reality, we may only be seeing the surface of something far darker, something that, under the wrong circumstances, can reveal itself with terrifying consequences. Can we truly trust our pets? Let's peel back another layer, diving deep into the science behind canine aggression. Savannah Bentham, a 10-year-old girl who brought light and laughter into every room she entered, had no reason to suspect that anything sinister lurked within the familiar walls of her own home. The family dog, a presence of loyalty and affection in her life, had been with them for 4 years, a time marked by shared trust and an innocent bond forged between child and pet. But as the clock approached 4:15 p.m., the dog, a powerful XL bully-type breed, turned, shattering every memory of peace that had once filled their home. But what truly chilled investigators was that this was no ordinary attack. It was an event that defied reason. The family dog had been granted a certificate of exemption under a recently enforced law in February 2024, a law meant to restrict the ownership of potentially dangerous breeds. Not only had the family obtained this exemption, but they had also adhered meticulously to the requirements of the legislation. The dog had been neutered and had shown no previous signs of aggression. And yet, here lay the undeniable proof of its capability for lethal violence, a scene no one could erase from their minds. Under police guidance, the dog was euthanized as part of the standard response to such an attack. Only days after Savannah's death, her family issued a heartbreaking statement, a plea for privacy wrapped in words of profound sorrow. "We are utterly shocked and devastated," they said, their grief carved into every syllable. "We've lost our wonderful girl, who we love so much." It was a message that resonated deeply, sparking a collective empathy among strangers and friends alike. Yet it could not fully capture the depths of their pain, the scars left behind by the incomprehensible tragedy. Savannah's head teacher, Rachel Wells, from West Heslington C of E Primary School, added her own tribute, painting a portrait of the child they had lost. To those who knew her, Savannah was not just a pupil, but a vibrant presence, a girl who came to school every day with a smile and a quick word of kindness. She was a model student, full of joy and loved by all, Wells stated, her words almost like a eulogy for a life that ended far too soon. The entire school community was in shock, grieving the little girl who had once filled the hallways with laughter and youthful energy. Savannah's case marked the 8th fatal attack involving a dog in the UK that year alone, a number difficult to ignore. And chillingly, more than half of these attacks had been attributed to the American XL bully, a breed banned in February 2024 after public outcry. The government, under pressure, had tightened regulations, yet tragedies like Savannah's suggested these measures might not be enough. In the mere months since the ban, over 400 dogs classified as XL bullies had been euthanized, either by mandate or by their owners' decisions. Each one was a stark symbol of the tension between animal rights and public safety, a debate reignited with every fresh incident. The Bentham family's tragedy had thrust them into the center of this storm, a public discussion where policy and personal loss collided painfully. Thank you for walking with us through the chilling depths of this true-life horror. If this tale left you on the edge of your seat, hit like, share, and subscribe to join us for more tales that reveal the dark, hidden sides of our world. With your support, we'll keep unraveling the spine-tingling mysteries that often lie just beneath the surface of everyday life. Remember, sometimes reality is more terrifying than fiction. Until our next journey into the unknown, stay vigilant, stay curious, and we'll meet again in the shadows of the wild.